I'm Donna Roxanne Marinas, and today's video I'll be demonstrating the proper ways of sterilizing feeding bottles. So today, these are the materials that we're going to use. We have here the bottle organizer, the drying rack, the baby bottles, thumb, sponge, the bottle brush, soap, and the two basin for rinsing and soaping. And we have here our casserole for boiling the feeding bottles. Before doing the procedure, I'll make sure that I have done doing the proper hand hygiene. Making sure also that our feeding bottles are empty and there's no any milk left over inside the bottle. And now we proceed to disassemble the bottles from the cap, from the rim nipple and the nipple, and the bottles itself. Use the bottle brush to clean the bottles using the twisting motion. It softens the milk residue stuck on the wall from the top to bottom of the bottle. Clean the cap, the rim nipple, and the bottle using the sponge. You may clean the nipple by your hand by pushing the nipples outside and inside. By using the nipple brush, you may also use it inside for assuring that there's no any milk residue stuck inside the nipple. Please make sure that you're not pushing too hard that may rupture the nipple hole. You may rinse the feeding bottle twice or thrice, depends if you see that the feeding bottles are totally clean. And now we are ready to boil the feeding bottles. First, we have to make sure to on the stove and put the water on the casserole. Let's assume that the water is boiling. We may now proceed to put the hard bottles first. To avoid for the soft things, at may it will melt or dissolve. We may boil it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we may put on now the nipples, because the nipples are easily gets melt or dissolved. Cover the casserole and wait again for another 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we are now ready to take out the bottles and put it on a drying rack. Using the thumb, carefully remove the feeding bottles. Put it on a drying rack to deep dry. So let's say that the feeding bottles now are totally dry. We may now assemble them back and put on the bottle organizer. From the bottles, from the rim nipple and the nipple, so assemble them, put the cap, and you may use it on the next feeding. And this is how I do the proper procedure of sterilizing the feeding bottles. Now we move on how to birth your baby. For burping your baby, there are two techniques that we are commonly used. One is over the shoulder, and the second technique is on the lap. For over the shoulder procedure, first, we're going to put a burping cloth on our shoulder, just in case that our baby will speak. Next, we're going to take our baby. Hold your baby up into your chest so the baby is facing towards you with your arm tucked under the baby's bottom to support. Using your dominant hand, tap gently and firmly tap your baby's back. Once you heard that your baby done burping, you may put him back into the cradle position. On the lap technique, first, place a burping cloth on your legs. Rest the baby's chin on your hand supporting the neck. Pat the baby's back gently and firmly or stroke in an upward position. And this is my presentation on how to sterilize a feeding bottle and how to burp a baby.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Kindao. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to do the infant bottle washing. First, I gather all my materials, and ito po yung mga materialis ko po. Ito po yung bote. Assuming sabon po siya. Assuming po baby milk. Then, ito po yung dito ko po huhugasan yung bote po. Ito po yung pasamalinis at dito po yung sa pagpapakulo. First po, huhugasan po. Sasabunan po yung bote. Kapasok po ng ganito, paikot. Tatanggalin po yung mga residue po ng gatas. Tapos po, lalagay po dito sa isang basin po, small basin. Lahat po, kailangan pong linisin loob at labas. Paki po, loob at labas. Tapos ito po siya, yung sa gilid-gilid niya, may mga residue po yan. Ito pong maliit, pwede nyo po itong pangkiskis dito sa gilid. Tapos dito po, ganyan paikot-ikot. Less than nipple is the last. Ngayon po, kailangan nyo pong you need to take the residue from here inside. Mostly it's yung matitigas na gatas, dyan po sumisiksik yan. Now, ito po, babanlawan na po, nalinis na po. So, assuming po tapos na po siya, nalinis na po, nabanlaw na po. Dito na po natin ilalagay. At dito na po natin ilalagay para po sa sterilizing. Pakataod po siya o pahiga, okay lang po, pero mas maganda po pataod po siya. Lalagay po lahat isa-isa. Then, this is the last one to be put. Standby po natin siya. Pag nakulo na po lahat, natakpan na po. After 20 minutes, papatayin yung tubig. Tapos, ilalagay po natin to, tatakpan ulit. After 5 minutes po, kukunin po natin dito sa loob, isa-isa. Dito po natin ilalagay, papatuyo po. Papatuyo para matanggal po. Papalamigin at patutuyuin. Yan po. Ngayon po, tapos na po, liligpitin po natin yung mga gamit natin at mag-prepare na po tayo ng gatas para kay baby. Ngayon po, i-assemble na po natin. Malamig na po siya. So, ready na po tayo gawa po ng gatas ng baby. Una po, dito ko po nilalagay yung napakulo na pong tubig. So, ito po yung malinis na tubig. Pagtimpla po natin ng gatas. Ito po yung assuming na gatas ng bata. Babasahin po natin sa label kung ilang taon po yung bata. Yun din, o kung ilang scoops po dito nakalagay kung ilang taon yung bata. kailangan po magiging maano po tayo, masino po tayong magbasa para po tama po yung formula natin. So, ito na po, napagtimpla na po natin. Yung, sabi po dun sa 4 scoop is 4 ounce of water. So, ito po, 1:1. 4 scoop, 4 ounce of water. So, kailangan nyo po siyang alugin ng maayos, yung tunawin yung gatas. May mga gatas na hindi naman po kinakailangan alugin talaga, iniikot-ikot lang ng ganito, okay na siya. Depende po yun sa gatas. Ngayon po, ito po yung baby. Papadidehin na po natin si baby. Usually, maglalagay po kayo ng towel dito. Para po, minsan pinagpapawisan po yung baby tayo. Yung skin natin, tsaka yung baby, nagpapawis po. So, test nyo po dito. Kung tama na po yung init, at kung okay naman po, papadede na po natin. Dapat ganito lang po yung naka-relax lang po dapat. Yung para yung bata din po, maganda yung pagdede niya, maayos yung pagdede niya. Either nakatayo kayo, depende po kung nangangalay kayo or nakaupo, mas maganda din po. Pero pag ganito po yung hawak ng baby, yung ganyan. Para po safe, na-safe siya. Tapos, steady lang po. Hindi po tayo pwedeng malikot. Ngayon po is kung paano po magpapadikay, how to birth the baby. I'm gonna show you how to birth the baby. You slowly turn the baby and put here. Make sure the baby face is not being covered. Yung comfortable po siya. Tapos tapik-tapikin lang po siya dito. Tapos maya-maya po mag-birth lang po siya. Katapos po niya mag-birth, ibababa po natin siya ulit. Yung sa parang yung posisyon na nagpapadede po tayo ng mga 10 to 15 minutes bago po natin siya ilagay sa
Good day everyone. My name is Perlis Kia and I'm from Nurse Caregiving Management Alliance. Today I'm going to do feeding bottles and sterilizing. Washing of feeding bottles is usually done to remove remaining milk or dirt and to ensure bottles cleanliness, and also to prevent contaminations such as milk soil. As I already set the boiling water at the casserole, first, I wash my hand as I'm already wearing my apron. Using warm water in the procedure and washing liquid soap. Wash the feeding bottle inside out in the circular motion. Arrange the feeding bottle and wash with soap. Rinse well and set aside to prepare for sterilization. While washing, I already prepared the boiling casserole. Feeding bottles sterilization is a procedure done to kill microorganisms such as viruses, bacteria, and parasitic infection, and to prevent gastroenteritis that could cause vomiting, diarrhea, and indigestion. There are 2 methods of sterilization: feeding bottles in which manual or electric, or electronic. For manual sterilizing, the feeding bottles between 20 to 25 minutes upon boiling. As I already set the boiling water at the casserole, wait until you see some bubbles, mean it's slightly hot already. Once you see the bubble and on the side or bottom, start putting the bottle and all the parts. Slowly put all the things you want to sterilize, using tongs to completely soak all the parts. Once it's boiling, let it boil for 4 to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it's ready. And don't forget to turn off your gas stove. Hello, good morning. My name is Pearl Iskia. I'm from Nursing Caregiving Management Alliance. Today we're going to give Riker Matthew birth. After feeding, we need to give our baby a proper birthing. Sometimes babies get a bubble on their tummy from crying and feeding. Birthing is a great technique to help release that gas. There are two techniques that I mostly use. One are on the shoulder and sitting in my lap. First, with on my shoulder. I'm gonna put on the towel on my shoulder and make sure their heads were right and supported, opening the baby up right on my chest. You can support their bottom, pull their back, while lightly tapping on their back to help their release back gas. Sometimes the baby will lift their head, and that's okay. You help them. And the second way I like is to burp holding the baby sitting on my lap while supporting their chin, leaning them over my pant and tapping lightly on their back, and so help them to burp. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Pearl Iskia from Nurse Caregiving Management Alliance.